Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey.
Right, morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, 30th of April. Time is flying. Welcome to another edition of Wealth Coffee Chats, Property Management Edition. Hey, listen, if you haven't met me before, good to see you. Welcome along. My name's Cass. I'm here representing the Property Management Group. And every Wednesday we jump on, we take over Wealth Coffee Chats. We talk all things property management, tips and strategies on how to hold your property for the long term. And obviously part of the 6-star team, which is amazing. We love to be here on a Wednesday. So if you haven't met me before, that's who I am, 14 years in the industry. Looking forward to many more if time lets me. And welcome along to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Now, hey, quick one before we really get into today's topic. Something I saw on mainstream media, which always provides some entertaining content from time to time, and some landlords' comments on the back of that. I thought I'd just let you guys know, if you don't already know, and if you don't have a ticket, the Property Summit is coming up June 13th to the 15th down on the Gold Coast, or up at the Gold Coast, depending on where you're tuning in from today. So if you're coming along, pop it in the chat. Be great to know you're coming along. You got your ticket sorted, and we'll absolutely see you there. If you're not sure what it is, team, listen, it's the 6-star team's going to be there, hosted by the one and only Jason Witten. You're going to have property experts, Sam Saggers, Andy Fenton. You're going to have a $1 billion developer come along, and some inspirational conversation as well. And you get to network with people in your shoes as well, which is the amazing thing. And together we'll learn a thing or two. So listen, June 13th to the 15th, if you haven't got your ticket, I'm going to pop a link in the chat for the general public. If you're part of the mentoring group, please reach out to your coach. Check it out. I'll play a little short snippet on what to expect at the Property Summit, and then we'll come back and chat all things property management.
All right, this is going to be fun. Who has played the property game before? Who has been in the game? Who's never played the property game before? Oh, you're in for a treat. Who likes Monopoly? Did anyone like Monopoly when they were a kid? Well, this is Monopoly in real life in this room. Every hour or so, you guys are going to be up and you're going to be running around the room like maniacs trying to play the property game and win the property game.
Today, I wanted to share the lessons, the mistakes, and the wins.
I want everybody to put up their hands who knows their interest rates on all their loans right now.
If you haven't seen me around before, like 13 years in the industry, in property management specifically.
Who likes paying tax? If you need help finding somewhere to donate, I'm sure I can find somewhere else where it can go.
We've got an expression in that, let's go and make new mistakes in the world. Who wants to make new mistakes? These are just strategic moves that can make such a big difference.
So obviously buy well, never sell. Definitely the majority of what everyone's looking to do is collect some A-grade assets, B-grade assets, whatever it might be.
I loved the idea of being a property investor and developing that identity.
Collectively, they have way more years experience in everything that you think you're trying to solve because they do it every single day.
There it is, team. And yeah, if you're wondering about whether that is Monopoly in real life, I can tell you something, and that is that it is. So if you're looking to come negotiate, buy a property from me, Rob playing as the agent there, come along, check it out. It'd be good to see you all. But I can see for you guys already jumping on. Scott's here, Bunty's here as well, mate. Good to have you here, guys, again. Thanks for coming along as always. So today, guys, listen, I saw something in the media recently, and a quick story on that. And I just thought we'd circle back on this conversation, what you and your property manager probably should be doing when, you're in that situation where your property's on the market, you've got to go secure a new tenant into your investment property. There's a couple of things we want to certainly have in place when it comes to, how we go about finding them, how we go about securing them. What are the things to look for? Perhaps what are the things to avoid? Because I saw something on, I think it was 10 News in the last day or two. Not sure of the location of where this property was or, the full context of the story. But basically the imagery and the video content that was being shown was essentially police, property manager, the locksmith turning up to a property looking to execute a warrant. Obviously, there was some sort of situation, whether it was rental arrears or an end of fixed term, whatever it may be, the decision was that the tenancy needed to end. The occupants needed to move on. In this case, they had failed to move on as per the orders. And it got to a stage where the property manager, the owner, had executed or applied for a warrant. The police were now executing, and the police turned up. And what they were greeted with was quite a lot of resistance. The tenant was clearly not in a position to move, not even looking to move. Basically said, "I'll move when I'm ready." Now, you take that with a grain of salt, whatever that might mean. And I sort of started wondering to myself, how did this actually get to this scenario? Like, how did we get to this point in time where you've got the police on the doorstep and you're executing a warrant? To make matters worse, it's probably why it made the news. 20 activists, tenant rights activists turned up, and it became quite a scene, quite a situation, and obviously made some good content, I suppose, for all probably the wrong reasons. And so, part of our role, part of your property manager's role, wherever your properties are located, their job is to, keep you safe and help you build and maintain, I suppose, your wealth that you've accumulated over a period of time. And like I say, I got to a point where I'm like, why is this happening? Let's look at and debrief what's actually happened here. And so I'm going through a recent situation at the moment where we've got a property on behalf of a client. It's on the market. The interest is quite good given the market at the moment. And what we're finding is, how are we going to go about navigating our way to the point of approval? Many times over, you might find in the marketplace, in my experience anyway, doing this for 14 years, that there can be some lazy activity, some lazy checks when it comes to finding out rental references, employment history, all this sorts of stuff. You've got a lot of variables when it comes to the tenant's application, what you can and can't ask, what they are actually be willing to submit. Sorry if there's noise in the background, Tim. I think there's some construction going on outside, so it's doing its best to distract me, that's for sure, in this space. But, we got to a place where, sometimes you can have what you might identify and deem to be, a great application, a great tenancy on paper. Their income is stable. They've got really good references. And sometimes things can go pear-shaped. So I think one thing to, really note is there's no guarantees, obviously, with this sort of stuff, which is always the interesting part. But I think what your property managers can go about doing is having a bit of a framework on what they're looking for and what they're educating their clients and their investors on. And part of my role to jump on here and Wealth Coffee Chats is to give you the ideas up front here, so you can chat with your property managers and make sure they're doing it. And so some of the things you, as the owner, and I believe your property manager should be wanting to find out and wanting to look at and should be looking for, is things to come back to you with clarity and confidence that this is potentially the right application. Now, what are those things? Now, if you know a couple of those things, like if you guys have something you specifically look for in an application, pop that in the chat for me. Always good to hear your thoughts. But number one is, how does that tenant or that prospective tenant, that group of people, person, present at the open home? At the end of the day, as investors, we engage our property managers to act on our behalf. They are essentially our eyes and our ears at the property for that period of time when the open homes are going on. And so, in that space, you might not even live in the place, in the location where your investment properties are. So you actually have no opportunity to meet and greet and see and chat and potentially get to know these prospective renters. So your property manager is your eyes and ears on the ground. How are these prospective tenants presenting themselves at the open home? Are they dressed professionally? Are they not dressed well at all? These are the sorts of things we want to look at. We're not trying to make full judgment in any way, shape, or form. What we're trying to go off is how they present. What is this prospective tenant actually looking for? What are their behaviours potentially around that open home, that interaction? Because that can tend to lead leave you clues down the track on what that tenancy is going to be. So after you get a bit of an idea on what and how they present at the open homes, through the application process, what does that look like? It's pretty simple now with application forms of what it can and can't ask. In Queensland, in about 2 days' time, you're going to get standard application forms that the government's putting out there to the industry. And so application forms will basically be stock standard in the way they look, the way they feel, what they ask for. And so for the prospective tenant, how are they filling that application out? Are they submitting it in full? Are they leaving information out? How clear are they about the information that they provide? Does your property manager need to chase them for 3 days to find out where they work, what they do, where's their rental references? How long does it take for the other property manager with the rental reference to get back to you to give you a bit of an idea on who these tenants are and give you a bit of a reference? And so sometimes these can delay a lot of the things as we go along. Tim always says here, he always looks at good stable income and previous rental history, and that's the perfect 2 places to start, right? So that's awesome, Tim, that you've got that in hand. And it's really important because recent sort of case study, my experience is that when we've gone to ask for a rental reference from another agency, what is the response that you get? Is it a stock standard, fill out a questionnaire, go away, I'm too busy type of scenario? Or are you going to actually give me a reference that provides me as a property manager with confidence and clarity, so I can let our clients know, let our clients make that decision? And so through that process as well is, that level of communication. Is the level of communication frequent, consistent, and to a professional standard? Or is it, I can't get a hold of them, things are getting delayed, it's putting everyone on edge, we can't really make decisions. In the meantime, you've got more inquiry coming in on over the top. Your property manager is getting overwhelmed and not sure what to do. And so if communication levels aren't consistent and frequent at the application process, what do we feel like the rest of the tenancy might look like when things come up, when we're trying to do routine inspections, when we're trying to get maintenance done, when we're looking to re-engage and potentially renew the lease? And so these are just some of the clues we want to look at. And obviously your property manager being your eyes and ears, you're heavily relying on them to look for these sorts of things. So as Tim said, the strength of the rental reference and rental history is obviously super, super important. You don't want to be making decisions without that. If they've got that ability to pay rent, of course, as well, we're looking at that as well. And terms and conditions, team, how long are they looking to be there for? How many people are actually looking to occupy the premises? Pets, all that sort of stuff. You want to take that into consideration, not just make a knee-jerk reaction to an application because the property's been on market for potentially a week longer than you expected it to be. And so these are just a couple of the 4 or 5 things. I think if you are in a scenario right now where you're about to settle on a property, you're looking to go back to market because your current tenant's vacating. Some of the questions I want you guys to ask your property manager is, how do you go about finding and selecting the right tenant application? How do you get to a place where they call you to make a professional recommendation? What are the things they are looking for, right? How do you conduct your open homes? These are the sorts of things, the nitty-gritty detail that I can tell you will help you not end up on Channel 10 News like I saw the other day. That's what it's about, team. Sometimes we can get caught up in our lives, our jobs. We get busy, things happen. But what I would say is we want to fundamentally pause when it comes to the leasing process, stop and check the detail, because this is the stuff that can help us, over the next 6, 12, 18 months, whatever it's going to be, with that relationship with the tenancy moving forward. So hopefully that's a bit of information this morning. I know it's a lot sometimes. It is early. Hope you got your coffee, but a bit of a quick little tip there on application processing, team, and the questions you guys can ask your property managers today, tomorrow, next week. If you're going back on market, if you're interviewing, new property managers, these are the details you want to find out. If they hesitate when they answer, you might have a problem, right? You can come chat to me and we'll figure it out as well. So as always, team, any topics you guys want us to cover around holding property, property management stuff, tenancy questions, lots of things going on in the world of property management, of course. Emails below, comment below, do what you need to do, reach out, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, don't forget, tomorrow at 8:10, we'll have the financial advising team back on for another episode of Wealth Coffee Chats. Stay safe. Thanks for coming, and I'll catch you all next Wednesday.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.